that he almost loses his feet. I mean, we're in a football stadium. You think about the great...
He's going to try to go as long as he can. 3.69 seconds.
A little slippery for these bulls on this end of the arena. I was wondering how it was going to affect this bull because he cut so hard. Now watch when he shoves off as they roll this forward. You see him slip. He's even slipping going back the other way, but this little bull tries so hard. You know, you heard Justin McBride compare him to Barry Sanders. You saw him match.
Not even close. The last time Nance was on the back of that bull, it only went 2 seconds. This time, even less. That means L.J. Jenkins is in the Final Four.
Different trip that we got to see from David's Dream. A lot of times you see a big look right there to the left, and then he kicks and rolls and comes around the right. Tonight, he decides to wrap it up right there. Cody Nance up there. That's how hard this bull cuts, and he's been able to trick a lot of the best bull riders.
J.B. Mooney. He's going to advance. He's up against rock and roll, but he only had to go about 3 points. You heard Shorty tell him that was enough.
We've seen this bull give a lot of guys a lot of trouble, and you know, JB's going through a lot with his injuries. The famous bull that we know all too well. He's going to be around to the left right there. This bull has a lot of whip. You'll see his hind end swing around into Chase's hand. I like Chase Outlaw's chances.
9 of the last 10 scores of this bull have been north of 90. Outlaw is going to be given, it looks like. Outlaw looked like he had a great seat.
Yeah, he looks good. This bull just keeps bringing it, though. He never weakens. You can see how he bends around. You know, his body almost horseshoe shapes itself each way. Right, left, right. Well, we always talk about how it's Austin Myers' guts and grit that gets him through time and time again. And, you know, he wasn't in the position he wanted to be right here. Watch him dig himself out of there with his right foot. That bull changes direction, and he's so strong, and he's such a good athlete. He has so much strength pound for pound.
Bulls in the business. The 2004 PBR World Champ.
This is a really good ride. Look, you know, look how hard this bull kicks straight up, and you know, even with the ground being a little bit soft and the footing not being exactly right, it doesn't seem to bother this bull that much. He keeps bringing it. You know, that's what Mike Lee can do. He's so good at keeping control. The thing about King Lopez is he will go either direction. It doesn't matter to him, and I think he's pretty equal in either direction that he goes. He kind of bases it off of where the rider is.
Was not meant to be for Robson Palermo. It just took a couple turns, Ty. Not only was Palermo off to the side, but he was looking to the side.
Well, you hear me talk about how smart these bulls are, and bulls that go to the left into Robson Palermo's hand have almost no chance. So you can see that King Lopez
off at 6. Tennessee Honey taking off a little bit, but when he finally, excuse me, 100th of a second longer. Jenkins had only lasted 3.4 seconds last year in Sacramento on that bull, so give him some credit for getting on longer.
Yeah, it took Tennessee Honey a while to get going, but when he did get going, you know, talk about...
There he's going to be right.
3.08 seconds.
2,300 pounds. He hits the ground hard. I think he's kind of got ill timing. He does that kind of bounce on his front end and hop skip. Changes up the rhythm of it for a bull rider. You see how he kind of pops that front end up off the ground, stays stiff-legged in the front end. You don't see any bend in his knees.
Here he is against southpaw. Just barely bucked off right at 3.5 seconds, but
you see Austin Meyer is kind of set to the outside immediately as this bull comes around. You can see his hips are out of place. He wasn't able to ever get his feet downward.
He is 14-0.
That is the 22nd straight buck off for that bull, and Mike Lee just ran into a buzzsaw.
Yeah. The guys the contractors that own these bulls and train these bulls and keep them on, you know, regimented feed programs and exercise programs, they just get them in such tip-top
points. Now he gets to set up against Rango. He needs to last longer than 2.98 seconds. A golden opportunity. He got clipped a little bit once he was on the ground, but he has done enough. Just going to get a rest. You just got to dust off. But here, Rango does his job.
Yeah, this Rango kicks so hard, and you know this is another bull that the guys aren't able to get a beat on.
Cowboy. Meyer just got bushwhacked. Whoa. It goes 2.67. Now we await the bull scores.
Well, he's waiting for his score. he wants to hear it. He's patiently waiting.
47.5. Last week in Kansas City, he was 48. Pretty close again this week, showing yet again why Ken Cox thinks his bull is the best ever.
Well, I mean, look at this bull, and it's nice in slow motion to slow it down because he does so much. And you know, you see Austin Meyer, he's actually in pretty good position, but this bull can change directions in midair. You know, he gives this big look to the left, and as soon as Austin tries to make the compensation, he's already made a full round to the right.
The first move got him over the front end, and believe it or not, Austin Meyer's dream has come true. Asteroid.
You know, LJ's a guy that doesn't turn his toes out at all. He really rides with his toes turned in. That works good when your upper body is where it needs to be, but you see Asteroid pull him forward, whips both feet back behind.
Make it a quick 7. Shepherd Hills tested.
This bull shoots out of there like a rocket. And, you know, even with the ground being as slick as it is, you can put that bull right up there with any bulls in the business. I think that's what really stood out tonight, is you're seeing the PBR's bulls at their best.
Shepherd Hills tested, caps off an amazing performance for the Bulls at Iron Cowboy 4. Only 10 qualified rides throughout this event, continuing a trend tied